Alright, so earlier today, Fortnite just did a massive hotfix on Chapter 6 Season 4. Some people are saying they even ruined the entire season. So first, let me show you what they posted, then I'll show you some details about it, and then we'll talk about it. So here's the tweet. It says, Chapter 6 Season 4 shock and awesome balance adjustments are live, focused on reining in some of the overperformers and boosting others. So first off, they say the lead splitter 3000 recoil has been improved, making spitting lead easier. That thing may have been the worst weapon I've ever seen in my life in Fortnite. Then we got the OXR ranks progress faster when you knock or eliminate players, especially in solo. Well, you can't knock people in solo, so you can only eliminate them. Then it says we've slightly toned down the power of spring leg and surge medallions. And then it says shockwaves now drop a bit less frequently. Next up, the Wrecker revolvers no longer, quote, double pump and are slightly less effective at long range. And last but not least, the Swarm Strike now deals less damage to players and structures. And last but not least, it says the Swarm Strike now deals less damage to players and structures, but damage to bugs have not been changed to keep bug explosions massive. So it doesn't really tell us any details there. Yes, we see what they did, but we don't really see it because we don't know the explanations. So let's take a look at my friend FN_assist on Twitter. So let's first look at the nerf to the two medallions. So these were hugely nerfed. These, of course, are the two movement medallions. There's only 3 medallions, 2 of which granted movement boosts, and then the other one's kind of like a modified siphon. So the double jump medallion, which is called the spring leg one, the stamina cost has been increased by 50%. So it used to be 20, now it's 30. So just in case you don't know what that means, when you double jump, it took a portion of your stamina. So obviously your stamina bar has a limited amount of energy, and if you deplete it, you can't double jump. Well, now it takes even more per double jump. So not only this, then the jump height distance has been decreased by 27%. So you used to be able to jump sky high 18.5 meters, now you can only jump 13.5 meters. Now the surge medallion, which I really enjoyed, that's the one where you slide and you got this huge speed boost. So sliding uphill boost has been decreased by 20%. Sliding flat, which is on normal ground obviously, boost has been decreased by 50%. And then the landing speed multiplier decreased by 7%. So we're gonna hop into a match and check both of those out because those medallions were super good. But let's see what else changed first. So the next pretty significant nerf here is on the Wrecker revolver. So it looks like they nerfed the pellet damage by 11%. So this lists from common to exotic. So the common one used to do 6.3 damage, now it does 5.5. All the way up to the exotic. That one has modifications so it does less damage. So let's look at the one before that, which would be the mythic, and it used to do 8 per pellet, now it does 7. Then he says environmental damage per pellet has been decreased by 4%, so this is for builds only. And then he says the environmental damage per pellet has been decreased by 4%, so not significant there. That's obviously beneficial in builds. Then it says the min-max preferred range reduced by 50%. So that's a pretty significant reduction in the range on the revolver. And then it says switching between 2 Wrecker revolvers now has a 0.85 second cooldown timer. So people were running around with 2 of these and swapping back and forth instantaneously, which apparently Epic Games did not agree with. And then lastly it says the pellet RNG decreased by 44%. So apparently everyone was heavily utilizing these Wrecker revolvers to make them nerf them that much. And next up is the Swarm Strike. Let's take a look at this. So it looks like damage per projectile has been decreased by 14%. It used to do 35 and 38. Now it's reduced to 30 and 32, 32 being the legendary there. And then environmental damage was reduced by 14%. You can see the numbers there. Projectile explosion radius decreased by 14%. The swarm damage multiplier increased by 18%. So a lot of people were utilizing the medallions plus the swarm strike. So you double jump high in the sky, aim in with the Swarm Strike, look down at your opponent, and boom, you get hit by the barrage of missiles. It did a tremendous amount of damage. Well, they nerfed that a bit here, as you can see. Let's see what they did to the shockwave launchers. So those were everywhere. So it says they decreased the floor loot spawn rate by 33% and then 26% in chests. And then they reduced the shockwave grenades in OXR crates from 6 to 4 and from the rank A pods from 4 to 2. So a lot of people were complaining that too many people were running with the shockwave grenades and the shockwave grenade launchers, so this should help a little bit. And then the lead splitter 3000, it got itself some recoil changes. So after 7 bullets, the recoil is reduced by 30. After 20, it's reduced by 7%. After 30 bullets, reduced by 12. Like I said, that gun is straight terrible. So I would not use that even after the recoil changes. But essentially, they nerfed 2 of the strongest elimination methods. Again, the Swarm Strike when you go up into the sky and look down, and then the double pump with the revolvers, and the revolver in general. And then they nerfed all the shockwaves, the shockwave grenades, and of course they heavily nerfed the 2 medallions as well. Like I said, people are saying this ruined the season. So let's just hop in real quick. I'm going to test in a private match first, just so I can get both medallions, and we'll see. So as we load in, I want to talk about this a little bit, because medallions are iffy. I like them, but not everyone does. So let's just look from both sides of the story. Number one, from a lesser skilled player's position. So let's say you're okay at Fortnite, you're not that good, but you're not bot level. How about that? You're somewhere in between. With medallions on the map, the good players obviously want to try to get them first. And if they get the medallions, chances are they're going to be way better than normal. So a good player is probably going to drop one of the 3 places to get the medallions first. And obviously they're good enough to clear the area, so chances are they land there. Unless they go up against another sweat, they're going to get one of the medallions right away. You put a medallion in a good player's hand, especially one that increases your movement speed, and you're in for a rude awakening. Then they go for the next one, and if they get both movement medallions, you're pretty much roasted, toasted, and burnt to a crisp. A good player with both medallions is a force to be reckoned with. If you give them all 3, it's pretty much game over. But that's generally what happens. Even if a lesser skilled player gets one of the medallions, the sweat is going to come along and easily take it from him. And yes, you can see exactly where the sweat is at all times if they have all the medallions, but they're still going to be good. They're still going to be souped up from the medallions. It's very, very difficult to kill a good player with all the medallions, especially in this season. So on the one hand, I can understand why they would nerf these medallions. Now looking at it from a great player's point of view, you want to try to... Whoa, I got yeeted there. You want to try to get all the medallions so you can be souped up, you can become as strong as possible, and you can have some fun. I mean, how awesome is it when you get the double jump medallion to launch yourself in the air, do an AC 130 with the Swarm Strike, and just smoke people? I mean, you dominate the whole lobby, and you can win. That's fun. That's awesome. So I can kind of see it from both perspectives. I'd say a majority of players do not like the medallions, though, because it just makes good players even better. Like I said, I don't mind, because I'm fairly decent enough that I can eliminate a good player, even if they have some of the medallions. You just got to play a little tactically. But at the same time, I always feel bad. Like when I have all 3 medallions and I see a guy trying to fight me and I just launch myself into the air and then Swarm Strike them and they're dead in 2 seconds, I said, oh man, like that was no fun for that guy. There's nothing he could do. I just smoked him. So I can understand and I can relate. It's happened to me before too. I mean, I've been smoked by really good players in this game this season. And the fact that only a select few people can get the medallions, I mean, obviously it's mostly going to be the good players. So some people are arguing that they should just do away with the medallions. It just makes people too good that are already good enough, I guess is what people are saying. So I have not minded the medallions at all. But I will agree, this season they've just been extraordinarily powerful, which can make for some amazing content, which I like. But at the same time, yeah, you gotta feel a little bad for the people that are not as good at the game. So I don't know, do medallions need to be removed from the game? It's a questionable topic. Okay, so let's try some of the changes out. Here's the lead splitter. So I can already feel a difference. I mean, yeah, it kicks up still, but it's definitely more manageable with that recoil reduction. Now, how about the Wrecker Revolver? So this got nerfed in multiple ways. The damage, the range, the double pumping. I noticed the lesser damage, but I think it's still pretty strong. Yeah, it's not too bad. Obviously, the removal of the double pump is huge. I could never double pump myself, so... So here's the nerfed medallion. Let's try this one out. So remember, it takes a lot more stamina now. Here's my stamina bar. Holy crap, that took like... Oh my goodness. Okay, I used to be able to do multiple jumps on a full bar of stamina, and as you saw, let it regen here in a minute. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's crazy. You could do like 2 jumps max. That just takes a barrage of stamina. And look at the height nerf. I mean, you used to go flying. You probably used to go as high as that bridge. And now I'm just barely lunging forward. Wow. They substantially nerfed this thing. Yeah, look at that. I can't even get close. So if you're not actually running, you can do maybe 4 double jumps. But who's going to be standing still? You're definitely going to be sprinting like this. So let me not sprint. I'll just run like this. So I'm not holding down the sprint. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so you can get 4 off by not sprinting. But if you're sprinting, I'm going to do it right away. Here we go. 1, 2, and a wussy one at the end. Wow. So that thing has been nerfed ridiculously. Well, now I'm scared to try out this other one. Queen is dead. Grab this medallion and get the heck out of here a minute. Okay, so remember, we're supposed to have increased movement speed. I can kind of feel that. And you used to be able to slide really far and really fast. Okay, so it's still pretty good. Let the stamina regen. And remember, uphill has been nerfed as well as just sliding on a flat surface. So at least this doesn't take stamina. So I feel like this medallion is now the better one. But when you had these 2 before, you used to be pretty much unstoppable. So let me show you. We're going to go uphill here. Slide, double jump. Slide, double jump. And now you can only do it twice. That is so dumb, and the double jump is so weak now. That's disappointing. So I have 2 of these revolvers now. Let's try to swap between. Well, now wait a minute. You can... What? You can still double pump. I mean, I see the delay, but it's still pretty much possible, right? That didn't look too hard. Here we go. Okay, that time it was noticeable. Yeah, the initial one. I feel like they should have made it a little longer if they wanted to totally prevent that. And then the structure damage. You can see the pellet spread's kind of crazy too. Yeah, so they nerfed this pretty hard. But not as hard as this double jump. Holy cow. I think I'm going to start going for this slide one. Yeah, and I can feel the difference in this too. Like, this is nowhere near as good. Yeah, even in midair, it's still weak. Look at that, you barely go up anymore. I'm just disappointed by that one. That was one of my favorite medallions of all time. Just a shell of its former self. Alright, we got a swarm strike right off the rip. Let's go. Okay, so now I can just pick up shockwaves and I can do the AC 130 thing. Let's see, I think I saw an AI land over here. Or maybe it's real, I don't know. It was a red Power Ranger. Oh, there he is. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that was a bot, and he almost killed me. But you saw how devastating that was. I mean, that probably took most, if not all, of his health just from my little AC-130 strike. However, I did notice it didn't do quite as much as it normally did, so the nerf is 100% noticeable, just not as much as that medallion nerf. Holy crap. Alright, so we'll try it just right in front of him. It's hard to tell how much damage it does because it just spews out a bunch of numbers. So before, I think it almost killed him in one hit. And now it's definitely more than one. So this one at least is still viable. So there you go. We got quite a few nerfs on our hands. Some of them really noticeable, some of them not so much noticeable. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Is this good for the season? Is it bad for the season? Did they ruin Chapter 6 Season 4 with this nerf? Like I said, I can see it from both perspectives. It definitely hurts to nerf that double jump medallion that badly. But again, a good player with it could dominate you. A good player is going to dominate regardless, though. So, I don't know. Well, there you go. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Like is always appreciated. And don't forget to use my Support-A-Creator code, which is Tabor time.